charities benefiting minorities.
There is a personal, economic, and social price that Mr. Sturdy must pay for his attempt to turn back the clock on race relations.
Jenkins noted that although Sterling has been more generous than other area team owners, he'll have to make a sustained effort to convince African Americans that the comments he allegedly made do not represent his true feelings. Craig Wyndham, NPR News.
Protesters demanding greater control of Ukraine's territory have seized control of the regional administration building in Luhansk. Hundreds of men with clubs shattered windows and broke down doors, and the latest displayed defiance against the new government in Kiev. They're demanding a referendum for greater autonomy in eastern Ukraine, where ousted President Viktor Yanukovych had strong support from ethnic Russians. Tens of thousands of people across the Midwest and South awoke this morning to find their electricity cut off from a band of storms that spawned tornadoes during the last 2 days. The Associated Press is putting the death toll at 31 so far. Some people are still missing. The storm continues to threaten parts of the Deep South through tonight. More tornadoes are possible. The nominations for the Tony Awards are out, and there are some big surprises. Jeff Linden reports from New York on Broadway's highest honor.
The Tony nominators were kind to some Hollywood names. Neil Patrick Harris got a nomination for his star turn in Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and Bryan Cranston got a nod for his portrayal of LBJ in Best Play Comedy All the Way. Denzel Washington, Daniel Radcliffe, and James Franco, all headlining play revivals, were ignored. The frontrunner for Best Musical is Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, with 10 nominations. The Tonys will be given on June 8th. For NPR News, I'm Jeff London in New York.
Dow is up 105 points at 16,554. This is NPR.
It's 2:04. Good afternoon. I'm Mike Perini with Michigan Radio News. The State Department of Environmental Quality has a new proposal on regulations for fracking. Fracking is a technique for extracting natural gas and oil from deep underground. High-volume horizontal fracking, which uses more water than older methods, is the focus of the new proposal. The spokesman for the department said the changes would make the process more transparent and assure adequate monitoring. Under one rule, baseline water well testing would be required in the area before high-volume horizontal fracking can begin. A state agriculture commission has adopted a new rule that gives local governments more authority to ban or regulate raising farm animals in backyards. Michigan Public Radio's Rick Pluta reports.
The new rule means backyard livestock farmers can no longer automatically claim they're protected under the state's Right to Farm Act if their chickens, goats, and other livestock are in an area defined by the state as residential. Jamie Clover Adams is the director of the State Department of Agriculture and Rural Development.
I believe we have over 100 communities in Michigan who have ordinances on the books on chickens and bees and other things, and they will be able to continue to move forward with those.
It's all big farm. It's big farm deciding against the little farm.
Kim White says the state doesn't understand or care about backyard farmers. She hopes the new rules will be relaxed in the future, but says that won't help farmers who are forced to get rid of their animals. For Michigan Public Radio Network, I'm Rick Pluta.
Mercedes-Benz is recalling more than 250,000 C-Class cars in the U.S. because the rear lights continue. The recall affects some B and G cars from the 2008 through 2011 model years. In Michigan Radio weather, we'll have lots of clouds this afternoon with a few sunny spots. We'll have a chance of rain and thunderstorms and highs from the mid-60s to around 70. Tonight and tomorrow we'll have a chance of more rain and thunderstorms.
up, especially Mississippi and Alabama, both of which were hit by tornadoes yesterday. In Tupelo, Mississippi, 2 gas stations were leveled, tractor trailers were blown off the road, cars and houses crushed by trees. Mario Armand rode out the tornado there from his kitchen floor.
As it was going, I mean, just that roaring sound and the wind and seeing the trees come through the house and everything, it was just amazing.
And these storms have been deadly. At least 9 people were killed in Mississippi, most of those deaths in the city of Louisville, about 100 miles south of Tupelo. The mayor of Louisville is Will Hill, and he joins us now. Mayor, thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you. I wish we were under different circumstances.
As do we. Tell us what things are like there today.
Well, we just came out of a briefing where we have an amazing amount of help that has arrived. We have the National Guard here working diligently alongside Mississippi Emergency Management, MEMA. We have our incident command set up right here at my office at City Hall, and we are just focused right now still on search and rescue. We're not worried about really assessing damage or even debris cleanup at this stage. It's about lives, injuries, and making sure everyone is accounted for at this point.
How many people are unaccounted for currently?
Currently, I can't even give that number. We do have a telephone number I'd like to give right now to report if anyone's having difficulty contacting someone for missing persons. It is 662-803-9991. And this is not for questions or inquiries. It's strictly for just reporting missing persons. And that's 662-803-9991. And then that information is passed on to all of those of the task force. That we have boots on the ground. We know we have aerial just now assessing all the damage. And again, it's just about I really don't know the numbers that I can't give you.
Can you describe what things look like today?
It's like a nightmare and something you think you only see in a movie or TV. Especially, I'm from here, grown up here all my life, and when you see things that you've seen all your life and they're just gone, roughly in some places 3/4 mile wide, some places a mile wide, but it came to the south end of our city limits and went out the north end, stayed on the ground the entire time. And it's very devastating because it took out our medical facility, some hospital, doctors, clinics, and we've been able to move here when we counted for it. Everyone was able to be moved, but yeah, in response to that was a huge challenge last night. In the overnight hours was moving everyone out, and also having a medical facility to take everyone to. But I'm really proud of the efforts of so many that have worked with support from not only in the community but outside the community. And all we really ask for is just
Hill, thanks for joining us and best of luck.
Thank you. Keep us in your prayers.
To West Virginia now, where there's a debate underway over the all-terrain vehicle. ATVs are a way of life in many states. In West Virginia, they are a passion and an important source of revenue. With summer and riding season on the way, businesses are looking forward to the annual boom of ATV tourists. But safety advocates are working to keep the sport safe. NPR's Leah Binkovich takes a look at the new proposed regulations and some of the dangers.
Tanya Jackson, like many West Virginians, grew up riding ATVs. She remembers following along behind her brother Rick.
And my brother is always riding dirt bikes, ATVs, anything he could get his hands on.
But in 2006, Rick had a terrible accident.
My dad had called me and he told me that they were trying to get hold of my mom. He was at Ribbon Memorial and family was needed to go over there to identify his body.
Tanya Jackson's brother was doing two common but very dangerous things when he wrecked. First, he wasn't wearing a helmet, and second, he was riding his ATV on pavement. When his family got to the hospital, Rick had trauma so severe he was later declared brain dead. He was an organ donor, so for 2 days, the family kept him on life support while the hospital arranged the surgeries.
It was probably the most emotional, tiring thing I've been through, but I'm glad because it gave us more time.
It took Jackson years to get back on an ATV. Now, she's one of the state's most visible riders and outspoken safety advocates. The Beauty Queen even partnered with the governor's highway safety program for a series of PSAs.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Mountaineer, Tanya Jackson. On August 19, 2006, my brother...
For the past decade, West Virginia has averaged roughly 30 deaths per year due to ATV-related accidents, peaking at 54 the year Rick was killed. In 2013, that number dropped to just 19. One reason why? Education.
And what's the most important thing? Yeah, what's that helmet going to do for us? Yes, sir.
If you wreck or something, if you don't got a helmet on, you could hit a rock and it could cause you to die.
Mark Witt is leading a training session down in the southern part of the state in Mingo County's Lenore K-8 school. Today's lesson is all about what to wear while riding. The fifth graders model helmets, goggles, boots, and other protective gear for each other. As part of West Virginia University's extension program, Witt travels to schools across the state with curriculum from the ATV Safety Institute. Statewide, only kids under 18 are required to wear helmets. They are also the only ones required to get some basic form of safety instruction. And that only came about after organized action.
We took about 500 kids, over 200 and some from Mingo County, and we marched on the Capitol in 2004. And we met with every delegate and every senator, and we got our first ATV bill passed.
ATV manufacturers insist their machines are safe. The problem, they say, isn't the ATVs, it's where and how they're used. This gets to the heart of the problem in West Virginia. To start, there's a general wariness toward regulation.